as deities besides God or along with God.
We're not during the time of Muhammad, neither prior.
So this is like you could say a prophecy of the future. So on the day of judgment, God will ask Jesus, and Jesus said, "Never said I such a thing." He never said worship me, nor did he say to worship his mother.
But Muhammad was talking about the present age. When he was reciting that, he was talking about the present age.
So where do you get the present day?
Let's read a bit from a bit more of the verses.
Sure, no problem. Do you have a Quran, by the way?
Yeah, in my bag, but it's soaked wet now.
Okay, no worries. Yeah. So this is like in reference to like the final meal, or like some Last Supper that Jesus shares with the disciples, and then it goes on to say that
God our Lord, said Jesus, Son of Mary, send down upon us a repast from heaven. It shall be an ever-occurring feast for us, for the first and the last of us, and a sign from you, and provide us our sustenance. For you are the best provider. God replied, I am sending it down to you, but whoever of you disbelieves after this, I shall inflict on him suffering the like of which I have not inflicted on anyone in the world. And God will say, Jesus, Son of Mary, did you say to people, worship me and my mother as deities beside God? Jesus answered, limitless are you in your glory. I could never have claimed what I have no right to say. Had I said this, you would certainly have known it. This can be you're right. This can be interpreted many ways.
So this could be understood as a prophecy, like on the day. The Quran is denying that Jesus ever made such a claim.
I'd rather read the tafsirs. Could we open up the tafsirs for this? Because the tafsirs actually, also, I'm pretty sure the tafsirs would agree with me. I'm pretty sure.
So you know the Quran is like the Quran is regarded as like the final revelation up until the day of judgment. So the Quran is not just sent to Muhammad and to his contemporaries, but also it's 10 to 8 roughly.
What time do you want to go? What time is it? Okay, 7:49.
Okay. 5 is Surah 5 verse 116.
Verse 150, right?
16.
Oh, 116.
Yeah. The next verse.
Oh, bro, why is it going to Surah 6? Okay, there's no notes down there. But here it says, and when Allah will say, O Jesus, Son of Mary, did you say to the people, take me and my mother as deities beside Allah? He will say, exalted are you, for me. I said not to them, you commanded me to worship Allah, my Lord and my Lord. So what does the tafsir say?
So this is more like a summary of like I guess the popular tafsirs.
Could we go to like the actual like references? Could I actually
reference to
ChatGPT.
I know, but okay, can I say, when you're going to get to swing?
So Ibn Kathir interprets it to refer to the Day of Judgment.
So Jesus will declare his innocence on the Day of Judgment, rejecting any claim of divine status. Okay.
So all of the people from the time of Jesus up until the time of the Day of Judgment, Jesus will say, like, I never told them to worship me or my mother, and that God is like a witness over people.
So even prior to Muhammad.
So before, basically from the time of Jesus up until the Day of Judgment.
So
that would include the time of.
So the tafsir is agreeing with me basically that people were worshipping Mary and Jesus prior to Muhammad and after Muhammad and during the times of Muhammad.
No, well, the tafsir says that verse refers to the day of judgment. So on the day of judgment, God will ask Jesus, "Did you say unto people, worship my mother besides God?"
Regarding how the Quran thinks that we worship Mary. But my question, that's not really answering my question because I will also agree.
Isn't your point that this only refers to the Christians in the time of Muhammad?
My point is that verse is also saying that the Christians at the time of Muhammad and prior to Muhammad were also worshipping
Yeah, it's
Mary.
referring to Christians, and then it's saying that they worship Mary.
That tafsir doesn't really answer anything.
And then even if it's within the context of Collyridianism, which is only
Context of what, sorry?
Collyridianism.
Oh, that was a heresy. Yes, that was a heresy. Yes.
That's one group which is only mentioned in one text, which is 300 years before the Quran. And even if we accept that group still was existent in 7th century Arabia, it doesn't make sense for the Quran to make general statements about Christians and then talk about worshiping Mary. Where this is an almost extinct group.
It's not solely mentioning Mary, but also Jesus as well.
Yeah, but it's saying worship.
a
But it's
general
also Mary,
statement.
but we don't worship Mary.
So maybe you don't, but there are other Christians who have in the past.
Yeah, in the past, not anymore.
But
So on the day of judgment,
hold on.
God will say,
a random heretical group, a fringe heretical group in Arabia,
Quran is
which we're
also
not even
sent to fringe people as well,
Yeah.
and to
Again,
so-called
again.
heretical people
But it
as well,
doesn't mention
and not just
hold on.
mainstream.
It doesn't mention Hindu beliefs. It doesn't mention Zoroastrian belief. It doesn't mention every belief under
I
the
think Zoroastrians could be argued are mentioned in the Quran.
Okay.
They
It doesn't mention.
believe
It doesn't
different
mention every single belief set known to man. It makes no sense to mention
Just a
a
mixed
fringe.
general statement.
It doesn't make sense to make a general statement about Christianity in reference to a fringe group which we don't even know if it existed at the time of Muhammad. We have no clue if it was still existent at that time.
Okay, well, let's say for argument's sake, this group hasn't yet come into existence.
No,
but it
would
may
have
come in the future.
No,
so
that's not the case.
saying
It would
it's
have
not
existed
falsifiable.
beforehand.
before.
But there's
the
no.
verse doesn't say they existed
Well,
before.
Collyridians did exist beforehand. That's the general.
Wait, was it 300, was it 300 years before or after?
So 300 years before.
Before,
So that's the
okay.
general,
There we
and that's only one mention of Collyridian.
So could there be another group in the future?
There
Sure,
would,
there
there was.
could hypothetically,
There was.
there could hypothetically have been another fringe group again, which has no real historic demonstration of.
And that group could actually go on to
believes that
become
Mary
famous or popular.
but it has not.
But like in the future, because the Quran is saying on the day of
It never happened
judgment.
in the future. It hasn't happened.
Yeah,
Nor will it
so
ever happen.
we don't know that for sure.
But we
He's
do
saying
know
it could
that.
happen in the future.
But
That people
it-
start
So in that sense, the statements are unfalsifiable.
Yeah, but it's been 2,000 years. Nothing's happened. Like no one's been worshiping Mary.
But Jesus still hasn't returned as well, according to your beliefs. But he will come back in the future.
Yes, but that still doesn't really
So this is in
answer.
reference to the
But that
day of
still doesn't.
judgment.
But that still doesn't really answer the question, though. Because you're saying hypothetically, but right now we're not talking about hypothetically.
Yeah.
We're talking about the reality. We're not, hypothetically,
But
if
the
they come, which they
Quran-
won't, doesn't really mean anything to us.
So in reality, according to the Quran, it's sent up until the day of judgment.
Yes.
So it's not just.
But right now,
present and
the
past,
track
but-
that us Christians are on, there will be no point in time ever we will worship Mary. Like literally
But
never.
do you
The
worship
track-
Jesus?
Yes, I worship Jesus. But my
So
point,
this verse is
my
still
point,
relevant to
my
you.
point isn't my point isn't about Jesus. It's about Mary. Secondly,
But
if
it
it's
should
no,
be about Jesus.
wait. If it's talking about Jesus, then it also has to be talking about the time present of Muhammad. So because the Christians were worshiping Jesus at the time of Muhammad, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
doesn't
then,
follow.
yeah, exactly. So listen.
No, your
No. Listen. No, because you're saying Mary and Jesus, both of
Yeah.
them. So
As a general
doesn't-
statement.
it's a general
it
statement.
doesn't
Okay,
necessarily-
but that general statement can also be at the present age.
Yeah, but
Because there were
doesn't
people-
necessitate that it is at that present age.
Yeah, no, but there were people though in reality worshiping Jesus. during the time of Muhammad.
But it doesn't
And
mean
it's-
that that's what that verse is referring to. The verse is making a general statement. That's
general
more
statement.
temporal.
Oh, so you're talking about, so you're interpreting, so
I get what you're saying,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the point makes sense.
yeah, no, what I'm saying is then it's down to interpretation. But anyway, regardless, if the
Most
Quran,
things are down to interpret how we understand
Yes,
the text. Sometimes our understanding can be wrong, but not necessarily the text.
and another thing I want to say, that, even with that, where it says that Jesus never told us to worship him. Well, we have external sources from the 2nd century, 3rd century, external historians saying that. I'm not talking about Joseph first, talking about the Quran. I'm talking about another person. I forgot his name. Where he, not Classicus. It was someone else. I
Oh,
forgot.
that Christians venerated Jesus like a god. Like they prayed-
Yes,
oh, okay.
yes, him. So I'm pretty sure that was in the 2nd century. So there were external sources of people
That makes
during.
mention of Christians worshipping Jesus as their deity.
So is that so for
But
that
the Quran
period
is
of
saying that
time?
Jesus never said this.
Jesus never said it. So are you telling me during that time there were people who didn't worship Jesus, who followed Jesus but didn't worship
He
Jesus
would
as a
say
God?
that, yes.
Yeah, like the Abionites. Yeah.
What,
Or even Unitarians, some
In the
Unitarians.
1st century.
Yeah, I'm talking about prior Muhammad, prior Islam.
Yes, Ebionite
Okay.
Christianity or Jewish Christianity.
Jewish Christianity. Okay. Fair enough. Then I think it's just down to interpretation. But I wanted. There was also another tafsir that I had read on that. I need to go home and open it.
Okay, yeah. So I
it
don't
had-
mean to hold you guys.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Are you here next week?
I come every Sunday, yeah.
Every Sunday.
But
Next-
you can ask me now. I'm not in a hurry. It's just I'm thinking of you guys. Yeah.
I'll go home. I'll look up the tafsir. I'll screenshot because I don't have data on my phone.
No problem.
Because there was a specific tafsir that I was reading.
I can give you my email. Or
Oh yeah, let me
number.
get your email. I'll email you. Or number.
Or my
Number's even
WhatsApp or
better.
something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there was a specific tafsir that I had read and it agreed with me and I was shocked.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know why I didn't screenshot it.
Have you heard of a scholar by the name of Neil Robinson?
Neil Robinson, no, sorry.
So he was head of Islamic studies in Leeds University,
Yeah.
and he wrote a book called Christ in Islam and Christianity. And he speaks of like of this
what-
particular verse.
What was your name again?
Naz, N-A-Z,
Naz.
yeah.
Come on, bro.
Okay, wait. So I will send you that tafsir. And
Yeah.
I'll show you how the tafsir for that specific verse agrees with my interpretation.
Okay, sure. I look forward to that. Do you have to give a summary or something
No, I don't want to give a summary.
in front of me?
No, I don't even want to.
I can just walk away.
No,
and you
I don't.
can
You're a
give a
nice
summary.
person. There's nothing to
Nice,
summarize.
cool, yeah. Okay, cool.
I